Thanks, Kishore, for arranging this. I think we have Tulasi online as well. So, should we give folks a few minutes and then get started?
Sure, Ashish. Let us just give 1 or 2 more minutes. We'll start at 6:05. Yeah, because I got around 50 plus RSVPs from my group members. So
Okay,
let's just give another 2 minutes and we'll start.
sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashish. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. This is Kishore. Thanks everyone for joining on a Sunday evening. You can be doing a lot of things, but you took time to understand about these Agile certifications, how they will help you in your career. Right? We all know how many millions of people got laid off in last 2 to 3 weeks, and we know that situation might be more difficult in coming weeks also because of corona situation. But right, rather than worrying about something which is not in our control, it's always better to use this time and try to build our resume, add with as much skills as possible, so that right you will be much ahead compared to all other profiles. So definitely, as you all know, most of these organizations are moving towards agile methodology. Every company want to move towards agile, especially all oil and gas. Everyone, instead of waterfall or hybrid or different models, everyone is moving towards that. So definitely, there will be once the industry becomes little stable, there will be a lot more opportunities in the agile field for scrum masters or various different roles, and especially all the certifications will help you, right? Not just having experience with certification, that will definitely make things much easy when you are certified. So we have a great team here. Ashutosh and Ashutosh friends are here. So it's all over to you, Ashutosh. It's all yours.
Sure. Thank you, Kishore. Thanks for the introduction. And yes, it is not just agile that we are in this. We are actually in the digital transformation space, and this coronavirus has actually speeded up that digital transformation. So let me share my screen in here. It is okay. Uh, Okay, so actually, there's actually a comment going on in the digital transformation. It's the CEO who's responsible for the digital transformation is the CTO who's responsible for the CTO, digital transformation. Is it the agile practice that is responsible for digital transformation? It is actually coronavirus that has speeded up digital transformation. So everybody is on this digital transformation right now, and agility is one thing that is needed for all digital transformations. So these are the two immediate current offerings that we have are the agile transformations for scaled agile, which Pulasti will be talking about. And then we have many more in the pipeline that are coming. I know this education field is near and dear to both Kishore and me. So we are trying to get as many courses to you as possible. And I'm always pushing back to all my team to offer them at the minimum cost and at the lowest, even free, but so that it's available to everyone and everyone has this opportunity. But again, we have our costs, and we actually had a lot of significant impacts on this. We had them scheduled all over the US last year, but then we had to get all of them canceled. And then we took a significant hit on our P&L. But again, we will continue to pay our coaches and we'll continue to offer this at the lowest cost with maximum audience. So thank you, Kishore, for bringing your group into this. And there's a group discount for folks who sign up immediately. Please work with your person who's recommended you to get this signed, get enrolled, so that we can send you all the pre-work. And then, yes, we can always work with you on the pricing. And thank you for investing in yourself. And also thank you for helping us grow. I'm sure we'll grow together. And let's make this a, a very successful initiative and a much needed initiative during this time. With that, I'll hand it over to Pulasti, who will walk us through the agile offerings in here. So Pulasti, you can. I'll stop sharing my screen. I'll be online to answer any questions. I want to make this session very interactive. So the more questions you have, the more things you ask, the more engaged you are, the better everyone is. So I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll let Pulasti take over.
Yeah, thanks, Ashu, and thanks, Kishore, to kind of framing our conversation today. And as Ashu mentioned, we will try to keep it very interactive, informal to the extent possible, and just to lay the groundwork for next several minutes that we'll be talking. The objective here is obviously not to start the training, but the objective here is to give a context in the sense, what is this training about? What are these certifications? Why are these certifications important? And how could these certifications help you personally in your professional growth, right? So that is the objective. And obviously from structuring, from cost point of view, we have Ashu, we have Kishore here, so they can definitely chime in and answer your questions. But my task right now is to kind of walk you through this certification offering, and specifically the two kind of the immediate offerings that we have. So to that extent, as Ashu mentioned, our first two offerings, and let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are the two offerings in the very near horizon we have. And both are from Scaled Agile. The first one is the Safe Agilist. The second one mentioned here is the Scrum Master. Now to give kind of lead into this, right? I'll start with, I'm starting with some basic kind of assumptions. So, stop me if that is not true. So we all are aware of the agile wave, that started probably like 2007, 2008 with Scrum Alliance. So the Scrum methodology that kind of augmented the existing lean Kanban methodology. And then, many of us are familiar with the standard Scrum. Many of us actually have been, doing in practice various agile roles, Scrum Master, product owners. Several of us may even be CSDs, like Scrum developers. What has happened though in past 5-6 years is um, people and the industry has hit kind of a wall, right? So as we can see, the Scrum is meant for a team, 5 to 7 people. You add the Scrum Master, product owner, and that's your group of 9 people. And it has kind of the flow, the cadence, but all of that applies to the team. But when organizations are looking at it and saying, yeah, there is definitely benefit, and there is value to these agile way of doing. I don't just have a single team, I have several teams, right? And here comes the classic problem of scaling. And people have tried a few different things, and you will find a few different models of scaling the Agile way, the Agile methodology. There is less LESS. There's now this Scrum of Scrums, or the scaled Scrum, that Scrum Alliance itself is trying to promote. But by far, what is kind of the leader in the market for scaling Agile is the Scale Agile consortium, right? Which has this safe framework, and has a very robust way which scales all the way from the teams uh, to the program level, then to the large solution level, and then all the way to the portfolio. And that links your strategic business themes all the way down to the execution. And that is what was missing from your core Agile principles, was how do I really apply this at an enterprise level, at a large scale levels, when I have several teams, not just a single team. So essentially, uh, what SAFE has done is, and I'll go through some of their website material that is available for free. Anybody can go, but I'll just walk through some of that to understand what scaled agile brings to the table. um, and a big part of scaled agile framework is this huge body of knowledge on which these certifications are based. And we are picking these two very fundamental certifications from that group of certifications as our offering. Um, the certified safe agilist is your foundation that gives the access to the safe roadmap. It also explains several key concepts, including the lean Kanban concepts, including your how do you run the program increments, how do you launch the trains, how do you run the trains. So all the fundamentals, this is kind of the foundation of safe. You get that, and then you start your scaled agile journey. So in this certification, as part of this certification, we are including the exam fees, which is safe offers this certification online. So it's not a prometric, like you don't have to book it with a center and go through all that inconvenience. You can really, as soon as you're ready, you go and you book it. But before that, several steps need to happen, and that's where we come in picture, right? Number one, we deliver the training. So it's a 15 to 16 hour training, and because of the current situation, the current COVID-19 situation, SAFE has allowed some flexibility. So we can structure it in a few different ways, and we can discuss that later if anybody is more interested in the scheduling aspect of it. But it's essentially a 15 to 16 hour training. So we provide that training, and that is essential requirement from SAFE point of view. That training also gives you your uh, personal account to the learning community in Scaled Agile. And you need that in order to access their material, the practice tests, as well as access the online certification, right? And once you pass that, you get your kind of digital certificate, and all of that is included in our offering as kind of one payment takes care of all of this: the training, the access to the learning portal, access to the practice tests, our guidance through the journey of learning and kind of mastering the training, and obviously exam taking tips, and all the way through to taking test and kind of passing it, right? So as these few bullets highlight, this is all included in this. The second certification here is the Certified Safe Scrum Master. Now, as most of us are aware, there is the Scrum Alliance CSM certificate, and many of us probably are already CSM certified CSM. Now, Safe Scrum Master obviously has some overlap with the standard Scrum Master, uh, as far as its role within the team execution is concerned, right? So as far as the team level agile work is concerned, yes, Scrum Master is your standard Scrum Master. That's the servant leader that provides the coaching, mentoring to the team. He's a process master, so he puts in place all the ceremonies, the retros, and everything, right? But in the scaled world, there are several other key roles that the Scrum Master has to perform, and we walk you through those, right? So that is the additional knowledge that one needs to become a safe Scrum Master. It's not just your team level Scrum Master, but it's what is the role of a Scrum Master when it involves multiple teams in a program train, right? And that includes your Scrum Master sync ups, the Scrum of Scrums. What do you do as a Scrum Master during the PI planning, so on and so forth. And again, in this one fee structure, we include, similar to the Safe Agilist, we include all of it. We include the workbook, the access to the learning portal, the exam fees, the 15-hour training, which, and I'm just looking at it and I forgot to mention, which would also be applicable to your PMI PDUs if the folks are already holding some PMI certifications such as PMP or PMI ACPs, PMI PBUs. So if you already have some PMI certifications, this also gives you PDUs, and those who have PMI certifications know the value of these PDUs. It's a pain in your rear to kind of earn these PDUs. So all of this is included in our training, and all of this comes with flexible scheduling, everything virtual, and kind of start to finish guidance and mentorship. It's not just we show up, we walk you through the slides, and then we say goodbye and good luck. We will be with you throughout this journey. And just a few points on our value proposition, right? We have certified coaches, decades of agile delivery experience. We have a couple of other trainers as well, but I'll speak to myself here for a couple of minutes. I've been in the industry for more than 20 years now. I've been a certified Scrum Master since 2008. I'm one of the very initial Scrum Masters, and I've been doing Agile in various settings, from small to medium companies, all the way to very large size companies such as Stock Exchange or Fannie Mae, at an enterprise level. So and I have several other certifications which include IC Agile coaching. I have safe certifications as well. So and we have equally, if not more, uh, uh, capable coaches in our team. Uh, it's all virtual training, flexible schedule, free one-on-one skills and objectives assessment. So we will talk to you. If you want some guidance. I'm sorry, was there a question?
No, go ahead, Pulas. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. And sorry if I'm I just want to cover a few, some ground here. But if anybody has a question, feel free to raise your voice. I'm sure Ashu wouldn't mind. I definitely wouldn't mind.
And actually, to Pulas's point, all these courses were actually planned in person. I know Scrum pushes for in-person engagement, and we had to go to great lengths to get them approved to be delivered online. I know this. Let's take advantage of the situation to for the online trainings. I mean, I had to get to great lengths to IC Agile founders. I mean, Shane was all the way in New Zealand, and then I had to get his permission to deliver the IC Agile courses online. The same way with Scrum Alliance, same way with IT Serve Alliance. I had to meet all their founders, get their buy-in, and these were like because these alliances had been started few years back. It was difficult to get them to convince to move to this delivery format. I know we are trying to disrupt the format, and there's few people, there'll be opposition, and there'll be challenges, but I'm sure we'll get through all these challenges. So let's see. Thanks for doing this, and thanks Kishore for supporting us. I know together we'll get through this.
So is this online training only for you guys, or is this across the Scaled Agile framework training sessions?
Yeah, so if I may take that, so they are now allowing online training, but as Ashu said, there is a process to get your course accredited for online delivery. So there are additional logistical steps, right? And that is where Ashu has put in a lot of effort with his network to kind of stand this up. So yes, they do allow now online training because of the changed circumstances, but they have added some additional requirements to before the trainers and the entity can go ahead and offer these online. So all of that has been taken care of by Ashu and all of us. So that's what makes us able to even offer this. Hope that answers.
Thanks, Pilasti. What is the price of these courses?
I'll let Ashu take that, or Kishore, whoever.
Yeah, I was pushing for people to offer them for free, but then if I offered them for free, all the people in the other markets will kill me. Even the accrediting bodies, the Scrum Alliance, everybody will run us directly to the ground. But yes, I would suggest just sign up online, just through the person referring you. Send us an email, and then we'll work with you on your budget and your schedule. See what works.
Yeah, and maybe Ashu, what might help is at least give them a context for what is the market rate going on, right, for in person as well as for online. So people have some reference when they talk to their individual people who brought them in.
Sure. Yeah. This is policy. Yes, you can give them. I think on the market right now, it is each class is $1,000, right? Then yeah.
At least, yeah. So online offering is somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200, and the in-person training, which was there till last week of February, is close to 22 to 2,300. So when this is over, that will also come back, obviously, right? So those are the two numbers to keep in mind. And as Ashu said, we'll work with your budget. We're trying to spread it as much as possible with keeping in mind the costs that we have, because every account opening with community, with learning community at Scaled Agile, there are fees involved for every single step, the trainer accreditation, the course accreditation. So I'm sure all that will be taken into account, and then rest will work with the budget. But as Ashu said, please reach out um, to the person who kind of initially provided the references.
So you don't have a standard pricing for on a website where you just go like it and buy it, something like that, or it's because someone I would say I would pay $200, someone will say $800. So how do we know that we are paying the best price in the market?
See, exactly that we are trying to be agile, and then actually we'll work with you because we don't want to stop with just these two offerings. So because we want to offer the entire digital transformation space, so there'll be further offerings on IC Agile, there'll be further offerings on cloud, AWS, there's further offerings on Click, right? Let's see. So even if you think you're getting a better price, we'll match it. But don't let that economics be a constraint for you to join this.
Yeah, I was just asking a simple question. What's the price? Means take it or leave it mindset. So, but looks like I'm not getting the price.
No, we will get you a price. It'll be around $600 a ballpark, so you have to provision for that much.
Okay, thanks for answering.
Srini here. Sorry for my question because I'm new to this Agile. So I just want to switch my career to Agile. So this course, this training is only purely based on the certification, or or the topics covered like all the Scrum Master, the tools and all, or it's only purely on the certification side? The training.
No, great question, right? So that's I mean, so one obvious direct objective is to pass the certification exam and get the certification, right? That's very clear. But the course is structured such that, and Scaled Agile actually gives a lot of material and kind of helps the trainers, and and it does include all the foundational knowledge base here. So if someone is in the beginning of the Agile journey, this is definitely still the course to do, because it for example, like the certified safe Scrum Master, it will literally start with what is Agile, what do you call an Agile team, like what's the size, what are the roles involved, what does a Scrum Master really do, how is it different from your waterfall methodology, right? So all of that foundational knowledge is included, and that's why it's a good 16-hour it's really earlier when it used to be in person, it's a 2-day full packed course. It's not just glossing over and just picking up and giving some exam tips. No, this does cover all the foundational knowledge as well.
So the $600, like what Ash mentioned, it's a certification cost or the training cost or the both?
It is both.
Okay, thank you.
And then I think my team was crunching the numbers again, so that 600 price I gave is only valid for today and tomorrow. So if yes, that is, if you join by tomorrow, that will be valid. But again, if not, then it will be 750. So
Can you share your website or something that we can pay and sign up?
yes, I think I'll do that. Or it's just a simple email. Just send an email to ashgogli@gmail.com or Pulasi. So actually, just a message to ashgogli@gmail.com will suffice.
Maybe you can
How,
post the
how
email
how
also
long
in
is
Windows. Ash?
Yeah.
how
And
long
If
is the
you don't mind,
certification
can you
valid?
send it through chat window?
Yes, I'll send it. Yes.
hey, Ash,
How long is the certification valid?
It's a 1-year valid certificate, and then there is a renewal. But the renewal does not include taking the test again. Um, but the initial certification and the initial access is for 1 year.
So
And Scrum
every year we need to just pay $100 and it renews automatically.
That is correct. Similar.
Okay.
and Scrum Alliance, I think they introduced a PDUs to renew our certificate. So does it need the same thing here? From last year, Scrum Alliance, I think they introduced this PDU system to renew our certificate.
Let me get back on the specifics of renewal.
Okay. Yeah.
As because I think the only reason is I don't want to quote anything incorrect given the changes that have really happened fast in last month or so.
Okay.
So yeah, so let me check on the renewal aspect of it, whether it's just a renewal fee, whether it includes some kind of point collection. But let me get back to you, and we'll circulate that to this group.
Hey, this is Ajay here. Can someone explain me about what is the examination procedure or approach? Is it complete online, or do we have to? I think someone has mentioned it's not going to the Prometric. Is it completely online?
It is completely on. Yes, it is completely online.
Okay.
But it is triggered through the Safe Learning portal. So
Okay.
you're right. So you need to first have your account within the learning portal, and you need to finish certain steps. Only then they kind of open up this link where you can schedule your online. So the initial steps are like, finish your 2-day training, take the practice test, so on and so forth, right? So once you go through those, then you can go ahead and schedule the actual certification test, and it is online, so you can take it from home.
Okay, because I don't know how this examination pattern, because I made an attempt for PMP and I couldn't get it through. Could you please explain me what is this examination pattern? How many hours it is going to be, or is it going to be descriptive? What
Sure,
kind of examination is it,
sure,
please?
sure. So it's an objective question, multiple choices, 45 questions, and you need 34 or more correct, right? So it's a 75%, roughly about 75%
Okay.
is the passing rate. The time allowed is 90 minutes, so about 2 minutes per question. The time usually is never a problem because uh, I mean, for 45 minutes, 90 minutes, usually, should be enough. And what I have seen is many of the questions are not there to trick you. So they are fairly genuine, straightforward questions,
Okay.
right? And there would be a few which kind of test your understanding. Whether do you understand the difference between portfolio and a program, right? That sort of thing. But
Okay.
there would be about 3 or 4 of those type of like really testing your nuanced knowledge type of questions. But the others are fairly straightforward, and yeah, I mean, it's from the test itself, I don't see it as a big hurdle.
Okay.
And the reason being, the 2-day training kind of prepares you for that, right? And it goes through and it hits all the key areas. And then when you take the practice test, you see, oh, okay, it's, I'm getting most of them correct. And the other good thing is they allow you to take their practice test multiple times. So you take it, and the practice test is uh, of kind of the same format and same proportion as the actual final test, right? So it's again like 45 minutes, and I'm talking about the practice test. It's again 45 questions, 90 minutes, and roughly the same composition of the areas that they cover. So you can get a good sense of, once you give like couple of attempts, you can see where you land.
Very well.
And we'll be there in terms of, as you're preparing, as you're taking the practice test, to help you through.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for the details. And I have just another question. Since I have prepared for the PMP, do you think that that would be really helpful to take these exams, or both goes in two different directions?
Uh, so I mean, you're asking from the content point of view itself?
Yeah, from the content point of view, because since I have prepared for the whatever I think you might be knowing this
Yeah.
PMBOK guide. So yeah, I don't, yeah, I have some knowledge on that because I made an attempt about a couple of months ago.
Right.
So do you think that knowledge will still help in this when making a Scrum Master certification exam, or no, that is completely a different
It
two
is,
different directions?
yeah, it is a different domain.
Okay.
But what would help is, it would have prepared your, how would I put it? It would have prepared your aptitude, right? Around how do you study a methodology, right? So PMBOK is also a framework, and so it's safe, right? Now there are very different frameworks, but it's still a framework. So as you prepare for PMP, you study a framework, and that quote unquote studying a framework, so that meta level preparation that's a transferable skill, right?
Okay.
Once you know how to study a framework, you can just pick another framework and study it, right? Hope I'm making sense. But in terms of the content, yeah, there is very little overlap, because this is very much geared towards towards a agile way of doing, and it goes into the business agility rather than your standard structured project management.
Okay, thank you.
Where are you guys located? Are you local to Dallas?
I'm in Houston, and Pulaski is in New Jersey, Pennsylvania. So we will cover both EST as well as CST, as well as we have a couple of trainers back in India. So we will try to get all 24/7 coverage.
Got you. Thank you. And are you a safe partner?
Yes, we are. And then we are also with the IC Agile partnerships. And then we are also in the expansion mode now. So we'll be actually also expanding our partnerships to other providers. So that way you get the full gamut of digital transformation journey. So we will have soon more partnerships with Amazon, Microsoft, and IC Agile. So we'll actually.
Thank you, Ayush. Can you share me your website, please? That's what I was asking earlier, but you're saying it's
that's true.
Gmail
I
account.
think with that revamp, we will have some rebranding with our partner. We are doing some M&As. We are also in the acquisition mode. So once that is clear, we'll get that up and running.
Okay, thank you. So look, right now, what's the company name? Because if I'm going with the company, I should know the company name, right?
Yes, it's a Agile IT Coach. So that's the entity that'll be holding this.
Got you. Thank you.
We also welcome investors. So that's why I'm working with Kishore to get some more funding. So if we get some institutional funds, then I can reduce the cost. I hope that thing works. But let's see how far that goes.
Can employers pay for this course? I mean, do you have any facility?
Yes, definitely. That is very welcome, and then we will definitely give them a group volume discount, because if we get the employer relationship, we can also continue their trainings and other aspects too. Yes, that is very welcome.
Yeah. That way they can save on taxes too.
Yep.
Thank you. Can you share all the courses that you offer? You see IC Agile. IC Agile does not do SAFe. SAFe is for Scaled Agile.
Correct. SAFe is for SAFe. And the reason I put IC Agile is the person who will be interviewing a Scrum Master will be an Agile coach. And so if you actually put in your resume somewhere that your Agile certification or coaching certification in progress, I think the person interviewing you will be more interested in talking to you, because he'll be shooting for his coaching certification. And it's a good logical step. After your Scrum Master, I always recommend folks getting your IC Agile or coaching certification.
Yeah. So let me throw some light there, right, on the IC Agile front, since some interest came up. So the couple of offerings we are looking at, and we are I'm an IC Agile coach. I'm also an IC Agile business agility certified person. So the two offerings that we are looking at are IC Agile, which basically the ICC ACP and the BAF. So if you look up IC Agile, those are the two that we are kind of targeting at this point. And IC Agile has several paths, several kind of career/certification paths, and the one that we are interested in, which we think would really kind of supplement our SAFe offering. That path is the coaching path, and the idea being is if we look at SAFe, SAFe is now moving. So SAFe 5.0, one of the key difference from the previous versions is the focus on the business agility, right? So if you go on their website, they are now fully into business agility. So they are adding this extra layer to their framework to target other domains within the organization other than just your IT. And that's where the world is moving, because people have spent a lot of time in making their development teams agile, right? And there is only so much one can do after a certain point, right? I mean, we have agile developers, we have the scrum masters, we have the product owners, the IT teams, in many places may actually be very well, truly agile. They might be doing good DevOps. They might already have good pipelines. But now the bottleneck, if I'm talking from kind of Kanban point of view, now the bottleneck is outside of IT, right? The bottleneck may be your admin teams, your accounting teams, your marketing, your sales folks, because they are not operating quote unquote in agile way. They are still not truly customer focused, right? They're still not looking at small batch size requirements, so on and so forth. So scaled agile itself is moving towards business agility. Their 5.0 version, their latest, which is what we are certified to train, and which is what the training is geared towards. We're not training you on 4.6 or 4.0. This is 5.0. And a big part of that is the business agility. And one clear leader, at least at this point, so scaled agile is trying to kind of get hold of this business agility, but the clear leader at this in business agility sense is IC Agile, because IC Agile had business agility certification a little prior to SAFe 5.0. So we think the combination of SAFe certifications plus IC Agile business agility, the BAF certification, and the IC Agile coaching, that gives a really potent combination, right? That makes your resume kind of stand out as a professional who can bring in transformation, as how Ashu was explaining.
This is very helpful. Thank you,
So,
Pulaski.
so
One question.
what is the prerequisites for this course? Is a person who is coming from a traditional environment, like who doesn't even know anything about Agile? Is it necessary that the person should know anything about Agile or Scrum or anything, or?
No, so there are no strict prerequisites. So this is so Scrum Master and the Safe Agile is the SA certification. There are no prerequisites as kind of prescribed by Scale Agile. Anybody who has been operating in IT development or operations or support area can definitely take it. Obviously, if you have some background on the standard agile, that would help. But if you don't, we'll work with you through the course to kind of highlight those areas, and maybe have some one-on-ones on the side to kind of bring you up on some key concepts, so you get the best from the class itself.
And what is the class? What are the class timings?
Ashu, you want to take that?
Sure, let me answer that. So once we have all the signups, we will split according to the batches, and we will start. We are planning to start as soon as Wednesday if we get full signup and if we have a quorum. Else, we will definitely start by Saturday. But one thing is guaranteed: we'll finish both of these by Saturday next week. So by next week, all the people will sign up will have the certifications in hand.
I mean, timings are like we do have work times. I'm from New Jersey area, and how does it? How do you schedule these classes? Because we have
Sure.
work times until 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the evenings, in the weekdays.
Exactly. We will work with you to schedule your 4 hours of instruction, asynchronous or synchronous, both ways. So this is the disruption that we are trying to bring in. Your traditional training classes will just publish a calendar, and then they'll be said, okay, this is our calendar. But here we will customize your calendar. Exactly. We will work around your working hours and get you the required instruction hours.
Right, but to kind of to the point of whoever raised that question, yeah, I mean we definitely have some flexibility because of the current situation. So, but again, we'll look at the sign up, and as it looks now, right? Most likely it'll be four sessions, right? So we'll spread it over 4 sessions of about 3 to 4 hours, if that makes sense, right? That way, and we'll try to schedule it at the either end of the day, so people can attend. And in terms of picking the time and picking the day, that's where Ashu was Ashu was coming from. That's where, once we have the sign up, we want to kind of have that schedule emerge from them, because from trainers' point of view, we are flexible as long as it is outside the working hours at either end of the day. We can make it work, and then it really is up to the quorum who has signed up. But most likely it will be 4 sessions of about 3 to 4 hours each, if that makes sense.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Hi, this is Dave. I have a question.
Yes, Dave. Go ahead, please.
Sure.
I think we lost.
Hey, this is Pragya. I had a question. How many chances do we have for the certification exam?
Yeah, good question. So you can take it as many number of times. The first attempt is included in your initial class offering, right? And the second attempt is, I think, an additional $50. And I didn't even bother to see about the third and fourth, because I truly don't think anyone would need. I mean, most of the people should be able to get through this in their first attempt, and will be there. But yes, multiple attempts are allowed, but again, additional fees for additional attempts. The first attempt is included.
Okay, Pulasi, sure. A quick time check. There's 10 minutes remaining, so I think Kishore has another call on his meeting. So I hope we have answered all our questions. Anybody else? Any questions?
Yes, I do have a question. I wanted to ask whether you help in resume preparation, exam preparation, as well as for marketing a resume and all that stuff, for finding a job. I'm between jobs. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, I think we will help you. There's a different entity that takes care of this, because, but yes, we will be through you for your entire journey. That is one of our differentiators. Definitely will be with you.
Thank you.
I can see it. There is almost 13 to 14 certifications. Which one is right for which candidate? I can see from implementing Cefi for teams, and a Scrum Master, Advanced Scrum Master.
Yes, let me take that. I think it is, I would suggest for executives, I would suggest the first one, the Safe Agilist. And for people who are a little more deeply involved, it will be the Safe Scrum Master.
Okay, when you say deeply involved, what is that?
Well, yeah, if you want to be running your team day to day, like a Scrum Master role, that is for your Scrum Master. And for executives, or if you want to move to other roles in the organization, Safe Agilist would be the preferred certification.
I'm lost, to be honest, because let's say I'm kind of like a team lead and we maintain projects. So which one you recommend?
Yeah, I'll let Pulasi take that.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question, please? Sorry.
There is a plenty of almost 13 certifications, am I right? Which one is right? Which one is which profile? Is there anything like that, or it's common for everyone just to start from a one and go for all the way
No. So good question. No, it's there is definitely meaning to understand which certification is good for which people, depending on their current path and where they want to go to. Now and we can talk at length in terms of your current role, because, for example, I'll give you an example, right? So if you are if someone who is a project manager or a Scrum Master already, then obviously the Scrum Master, that path makes sense. So you do the Safe Scrum Master, then there is a Safe Advanced Scrum Master, then you become the Safe Release Train Engineer, and that's your journey. If you're a product owner, right? So if you're a subject matter expert and you're working as a product owner, then they have that path. However, the foundation of all of that is the leading safe, the SA, which is why we're including that. That 2-day class kind of grounds your entire next journey, right? Because otherwise, if you directly start with, let's say, product owner or lean portfolio manager, you can do that. Like, safe doesn't stop you, strictly speaking, from directly going to an LPM certification, but it'll be a difficult one to get through if you haven't done the leading safe, the safe edges, the SA certification. And that's why we are offering two of the most foundational certificates that we honestly believe that everyone should need, no matter what their next journey is. So I hope that answers, and I'll be happy to talk to, I'm sorry I missed the name,
Yeah.
whoever asked, but I'll be more than happy to talk, specifically about the objectives.
I'm sending email with my contact number. Just whenever you get a chance, just give me a call.
Hello.
Thank you.
I have one quick question. I am from mechanical background. Do you recommend this Agile Scrum Master?
What is your current role?
I'm a team lead.
And you, but is it a software development environment? Is it an operations environment?
No, it's a product development.
It's a product development. Yeah, absolutely. And especially with 5.0, this Scaled Agile 5.0, it is now appropriate for all domains. So if you're in product development, you definitely want to look into at some point the product owner role, because you would be interacting with some system development teams, and you might be even an SME or a product owner for those teams, and those teams might be working already with the safe framework. And this is now one of the key challenging areas for the business folks, or for the subject matter experts, that they interact with various teams which are working under these various frameworks, but the business people don't necessarily understand their nomenclature, right? So it's the communication becomes very difficult. Like, they talk about, oh, we need a product backlog, and then the product owner doesn't really know what a product backlog is. So absolutely, I mean, even if you are from a mechanical background, and even if your domain is product development and not necessarily a software development, the safe framework definitely applies and helps you.
Okay.
Hi, I have a question. This is Varun. Actually, let's assume we all will try to attend all the sessions, but sometimes you miss due to some unforeseen circumstances. Would there be any makeover session possible in that kind of situation? If not, would there be any alternate option for us to catch up with missing curriculum?
Yes, that's a very good question, and that is why we have this 24/7 coverage. So yes, we will get you the catch-ups, the recordings, or we'll work with your schedule. Yep.
Yeah, I have a question. My name is Prasad. I work in science field, like as a team leader. Does this Scrum Master works for me, or no use for sciences?
So similar to my earlier answer, right? As long as you have interactions, dependencies with IT of any nature, be it software development, be it operations, be it any kind of systems, network, as long as you have interfaces, with IT. Because what's happening is, and let me, I'm not just trying to sell safe here, right? Because I mean, it's a framework developed by somebody else. Like I have no, I have no vested interest in saving.
Mhm.
The point though is, entire IT industry has already moved to the scaled way of agile development.
Yeah.
So people who are interfacing with them, if they don't understand how the IT department is working, they wouldn't be in a position to kind of help them as a product owner, as a business stakeholder, as kind of program sponsors. So there are all these roles which are not IT, but if you don't understand how IT works, how would you actually be able to do those roles, right? That's the point.
Okay. Yeah, ours is mainly product development in pharma and biotechnology type of things, where we use classical project management by project manager and also like some internal sources.
I see. I see. Hi.
Thank you.
Sure.
This is Bala.
Okay, great. So 7 o'clock, I
I,
think we need to leave this for Kishore, right? Kishore, definitely. Thanks, Tulasi. So if folks have other questions, please do reach out to us by email. Uh,
So there is a session on fun with Python for kids. In case if any of you have kids and if they want to know how Python is useful for kids, you can stay back. And Dr. Maleshwar is one of the senior professors. He helped thousands of students in training them with Python. So in case if any of you are interested, if you have kids, you are welcome to join. And 8 o'clock, there is one more session with Dr. Maleshwar on the job-oriented training on Python. Again, that is one more. If you want to join at 8 o'clock, if you don't have kids, if you want to join at 8, you can join there. And yeah, thanks, Pulasti and Ash.
Thanks, Kishore, for the opportunity, and thank you, everyone. And as Ashu said, if any questions, reach out to us via email. We'll be more than happy to chat.
Can you share your email?
sure. Yes, I put it in the chat. So it's ashgogle@gmail.com.
And Ashu, if you can give my email address as well.
Sure.
Or
So Tulasi, you can put it in chat too. Yes.
I'm doing it now. Yeah.
Everyone who joined for 7 p.m. CST.
Thank you all.
Just 2 minutes. We will start the session on Python.